Okay. Okay, good evening, students. Let's go with this CATIA software, which is used by Hyundai people only. Most of the even Hall people also using this software for especially surface design, aeronautical, aerospace. They are using especially the aerospace design. They are using this CATIA software, especially not for modeling purpose. They are going to using the surface design. So generally, everybody will be familiar with modeling because you know that how to draw the each and every part. If you are familiar with the modeling concept, but most of the people are lagging in the surface design concept, which is very important. If suppose we want to design the any car parts in the interior design or exterior design, like roofs, car doors, or whatever it may be, all the designs, interior or exterior designs generally, we need a very strong knowledge in the surface design. So, which is the as a definite requirement of any industry, not only Hyundai, every industry. So, CATI is very familiar for this surface design. CATI is very familiar because it gives good look. So, let us go with the CATIA means here we can say that simply computer aided three-dimensional interactive application. Computer aided three-dimensional interactive applications. So, we are having various applications. We can apply modeling concept, manufacturing concepts like CAM and analysis part, computer aided engineering, and even product life cycle management also. And if you see this interface, when you click on start button, we will have all the applications. It may be related to mechanical design part or shape design or any simulation or any plant layout or a plant simulation or machining applications like lathe machining or prismatic machining, how to generate the codes. Part programming code also we can generate by using this one. Similarly, digital mockup means we can create the kinematics. Once you assemble the parts, we can see the simulation of the each and every part related to one each other. Like this, these are the applications generally. So let us go with the mechanical design. Now in the mechanical design, again we will have the part design. We are going to simply modeling the any part, and later once you model all the parts, we are going to assemble them in a specific order. And similarly, other applications are weld design, molding tool. We can make the mold tool. So mold tool means we can make the core cavity, lower die, upper die, and other accessories, ejectors, mechanisms. The entire tool, what we call that is what we call mold tool. So we can make already not only this one, we can make the sheet metal design. Sheet metal, you know that every part which is having very less thickness, less than 6 mm, we'll call that part as a sheet metal, like car doors, all these things. So we can model sheet metal parts like this in this one. One of the important concept in the CATIA is CATIA is familiar, but in the surface design, that too you can see in the shape application, it is familiar for the generative shape design. So it is very important if you want to familiar with the CATIA means we have to learn the generative shape design, which is very huge demand in the outside world. Generative shape design. So let us go with today. We will have a small. We will concentrate on part design. Basically, before going to part design, we will learn on the Sketcher workbench. So click on the part design. So it will ask you different things here. Enable hybrid design, create geometrical set, create an ordered geometrical set. I will explain about this geometrical set and ordered geometrical set. That means whenever we want to suppose if you made a modeling with respect to some constraints. Now if you want to make the changes here. So if there are any two parts are there in the same modeling, if one part is let us say extruded, if other part is also related to that part, it has to do to execute the same like if one part is extruded, the other part is also to be extruded, but it has to match the previous design. It should not damage the design. It should not deviate the design. So like this, we are going to giving some relationships, one part to other part, so that if one part is changed, automatically the other part is also relevantly changes. It will be happens only when we create the separate set of geometrical set and a separate set of ordered geometricals. This is about that one. So in that case, if you want to do like this, we can go with this one. Now let us go with this hybrid design. So this is the interface of the part design. So now this part design means we can make any part. We can say that simply any product, any part. It may be any part. So when you see this one, of course, we will discuss about this one in the next class. We will discuss about on the sketcher workbench, because once you complete the sketcher workbench only, will automatically we will able to draw the part design. So when you have the sketcher workbench like this, now we need to decide exactly in which units we are going to drawing. In the case of NX, you can see when you open the file, it will ask you immediately when you want to open the file, automatically it is going to ask you the units. So in this case, is not like this. We need to set the units here. Suppose the default units are here. Suppose if you want to change the units, you can click on the tools here. Click on the tools and you click on the options. Tools and options. So you can see here we will have here several things here, like you can see I am zooming this one by control button and scroller. So you can see here we'll have in the tool options general, infrastructure, mechanical design, shape design, and based on applications all the related changes we can make here, general designs. So we can click here. General means display type. What is the display here? So in the display, we'll have the tree appearance. We can change the color also. So all these things we can, if we want to display or undisplay, we want to hide all these settings, we can change here. Everything, even accuracy also we can put here. Like a circle is there here, we can put the accuracy. So we can make all the changes here. Like if you see, observe here, these are the standards here. So the background color, whenever the sketch is constrained with the different colors. So all the changes will be happen in the general concept, that is a display. Like this, everything we are having here. Now similarly, now our target is we want to change the units of the system. So click on the parameters button here. So click on this parameter. So in the parameters button, we have the knowledge tab, scale tab, unit tab, knowledge environment. Like this, we are having different setups. You can click on the unit. Just wait because system are very slowly. That was showing like this. So you can click on the unit tab. You can see here. Sorry, you can click on the unit tab. You can see on the unit tab, now the present units are here. You can see here millimeters. Suppose if you want change here, you click here meters or kilometers or inches. You can go like this. So by default units in CATIA are here. Already by default setups are here Most of the cases the setups will be in only. So it was already in There is no problem. We can okay. If you want to change here, we can change and click OK. So I'm canceling here now because I don't want any changes here. So now this is the way we can change the entire setup of the software. How it was looking also we can change in the this option, like tools option, tools and options. So you have to use this command most of the cases. Now let us go with now sketcher workbench, because you know that if you want to model any part, definitely we need to draw the two-dimensional sketch, and later we have to do the different operations. Now I'm going to clicking here sketching. So now you can see I'm bringing this one, the sketcher bench here. So when you click this, this is the symbol for sketcher. When you are having the a button here in on this icon, so that means whenever it is when some button arrow mark is there, means it is having two options, multiple options, which means that. So you can click here. Simply click on this button. It will show the other options. So this is the sketch, whereas this is the, you can see here sketch is based on the position sketch. Both are sketching only, but it is a little bit different. It will be little bit different. They are the same thing only. Now just we will click on the sketch. Now I am going to select the sketch here. So when you select the sketch here, I need to select here first of all on which plane I need to draw the I need to draw the sketch here. So in this case, so suppose if you want to, of course I'm clicking here. Whether see, you can see this is XY plane. That means this is what we call tree. Tree means here because in the CATIA or any software, generally we are going to modeling any part like parent-child relationship, child-parent, parent-child relationship. And whenever there is a parent will be there, child will be there. There is a correlation between the parent and child like this. So in this tree, this is what we call compass. This portion is called as compass. So see, this is the compass. This area is called compass. Compass means suppose if any part is there, if you want to visualize very quickly, we can do like this. So we can visualize the part simply by clicking this a small point is there on the compass. By putting the left button, by pressing here, we can rotate like this. We can visualize the button, whatever may be in the direction. Okay. Now these are the planes here on the tree. XY plane. You can see here. This is the XY plane, YZ plane, and ZX plane. So we can increase the size of these planes also. Of course, we need to go with uh, what we call in the tools options. We need to change there. What are the changes required? Okay. And now now I am going with Sketcher Workbench. Click on the sketch here. Select the any one plane. Select this XY plane. See, automatically changes here. Now we can say that now we are in the Sketcher bench. Because before going to the any model, if you want to create any model, we must be in the Sketcher workbench. So now I am in the Sketcher workbench. This workbench. So in the CATIA, these are called as workbench. Workbench means in which concept you are there, whether you are in the sketching concept or whether you are in the part design. Part design means part workbench, or assembly means product workbench. That is a assembly workbench. Like this, we are going to calling based on the application workbench. Now we are in the sketching workbench. So see, when we open the sketching workbench, because already was opened here and was already I was set here, as it was there, and they are looking like this. So suppose I'm making some changes here. You can see. So right click on this button on this menu anywhere in the white space. So you can see the options are available here. Those buttons which are marked with the tick bar, they are already there in the interface. Now see, I'm changing. I'm going to I am going to unticking everything so that you can understand what is what. So standard. See, standard means this one. I'm clicking here once again. Standard means file, new file, save, undo, redo. These are undo, redo operations. All these things will be called as standard. Similarly, workbench. So you can click here, workbench. See, it was disappeared here. Once again, I'm clicking here. You can see this area. I clicked here, workbench. So this is the workbench. So what is the meaning of workbench means presently we are in the Sketcher workbench. Where we want to exit from our Sketcher workbench, this button we have to use. Exit workbench. This option. This is the Sketcher workbench. And we want to exit from Sketcher workbench means we need to click this one. So this is what we call Sketcher workbench. The default position will be here. Of course, you can set as per your wish. Wherever you want set, you can set the button by simply you can drag these buttons. Suppose if you close these buttons, we can close. If you want to add this one, you can add here. The simple thing. So now I'm dragging this one. I'm going to moving this one to the space where I required. So like we can make the changes here. Now like this. Now this is the workbench. Now graphics properties. See, this is the graphics properties. We will see what is the meaning of graphics properties. So this is the graphics properties. Graphics properties means we can maintain the color, anything lines, types, transparency, like this line thicknesses. So what are the line maintenance, dotted lines, or axis line, or like this we can do as per our wish. Okay. Even we can measure the click here. So it will takes the how they are looking the part like this. Even we can click on match properties. So like this is what we call graphics means graphics properties of the respective model. So now click here. Next one is the knowledge. So you can see here in the bottom here, this is not the knowledge. It will comes here. So I'm clicking here, click the knowledge. So see, it is very important for you. So what is the meaning of knowledge means here? So you can see here in the knowledge means we can create the formulas like sin x, cos x. That means we can create the parametric design. If one suppose if the length is there, if width is there of a rectangle, if the length is equal to twice the width, we can create the relations like this by using these formulas. When you give the dimension, when you increase the width, when you are given the relation as L is equal to 2W, when width is changes, automatically length is also changes by using that formula. So we can create the formulas also. Like we can give the any comment, we can add the comments and we can list those comments. And next, design table, which is very important concept. Design table. That means when we are going to design, suppose let us say, suppose there is for example, a square prism is there. For example, it is a solid. A square prism having the base as a square as 20 mm and the axis is 60 mm. So suppose if you want a square, a length of 30 and 90, then in that case, simply what we can do is here, we are going to model in this CATIA, and we are going to giving all parameters like length, width, thickness, and we can give. And these parameters can be imported in the Excel because already you model that part with length, width, thickness, and parameters. So when you import this one into Excel, if you make the Excel, it will displays like this. In this Excel sheet, when you import this Excel, export this Excel, it will give the details like this: length of the member, width, thickness, for one model. Suppose if you want to create another model with other parameters, like say, if I want a length for 20 mm and width is 30 mm and height is 100 mm. For these parameters, if you want to create the model, then there is no need to model because already you are model with other parameters. That design table is incorporated here. When we imported this Excel sheet, we can type the all the parameters, length, width, and thickness. And if you import this Excel sheet, automatically it will be updated in this design table. So that when you select here, when you import this one, it is going to asking you which parameters you want to create a model like this. It is going to asking you. If you select which on the Excel sheet, we will have the different rows and columns. If you select particular row, in the particular row, whatever the dimensions it is having, with that dimensions, it is going to create in the model. So it becomes for us uh, to create the same model any number of times. For example, this concept is most of the cases we are going to using for, let us say, if there is a screw is there, bolt and nut is there. If we are having the bolt nut combination size M16, M19 threads are like this. We are having different sizes, you know that. So what I'm going to doing is in this CATIA, I will model initially a bolt with a specific size, and I will link with this concept with the design table. I will import this one in the Excel format where I want to create the a hundred number of parameters. I will type the data in the Excel sheet, and I will re-import it in the software. Then if you want to create a bold with another size, simply we have to select that particular row. Automatically, it creates the already that model is there. With respect to these parameters, it make changes here and it will create the model. That is what we call design tape. That is what we call knowledge. So this is very important for us. So this is knowledge, and now I'm going to. I'm also making the. I'm going to dragging this one, so you can click here. This is knowledge. Next one is view. Most of the cases we are using this view concept. So view means see here disappeared here. So I'm adding here by clicking here view. So you can see here view means here the simple things. Always in the software, in any software, our target is we want to zoom in, zoom out, and we want to isometric view. We want to fit the entire drawing in a towards the center of the graphics window. Like this, we can see these options. This is what we call view. Of course, I will tell you there is a first one, flight mode, what we call flight mode. It is a different thing. It's a very important one. So, suppose if you see, when you model any complex model, if you want to feel yourself, you are going to running, and we are going to visualizing that into that model. If you want to get that feeling, we can go with this fly mode. That means ourselves we are going to moving, and suppose if you taken our new block an example, so there are several rooms are there. If you model the new block in the CATIA software and any software, for example in CATIA software, suppose if you want to go to the PDV lab room, PDV lab room in the software, for example, you are somewhere else. You want to visualize how it is in the PDV lab, how the chairs are there, how the arrangement is there. Once after completion of this entire new block model, so in reality that is not possible. Just by hiding the other parts only, other rooms only, we can visualize in the graphics window, that thing. But in this case, by using the fly mode, what we can do that, we can like it is what we can say, it is like a cam, like cam is moving in the rooms. Like this we feel we are going to moving in each and every room. That feeling can be done by fly mode. So that is the advantage of this CATIA software. By using this fly mode, I can visualize every part of this model. I can go by physically moving. That means by virtually moving, we can visualize the entire each corner of the room. I can visualize clearly. Of course, I will show you once I model this one. So this is what we call next fit all. Next move command. Move means not move. Pan. Next rotate. This is rotate, zoom in, zoom out. And next is the normal view. This is very important. We will use the most of the cases also. See here, for example, I'm making a rotate here. See, now we are in the 2D. You know that. So I'm moving like this. See how the plane is like this. Actually, it was in the XY plane. Now what I was did here, I was rotated this plane. So you can see here, I can rotate it this plane, but I want to go previous the XY plane only, but it was in the rotated case. Then how to go means simply how to click the normal view. Click the normal view. Automatically we will go with the respective plane perpendicular to that plane we are going to observing. That is what we call normal view. So by clicking this option, this is the option we are going to using most of the cases. Next, this one is once you model, you can visualize the front view, top view, all the views. You can go with this option, multiple views. And this is what we call isometric view. Okay, isometric view, front view, rear end view, and a back view, and left side view, right side view, top view, bottom view. Like this, I can go other views other than the isometric view. And this is another option. Solid with shading with hidden edges. Not edges will be highlighted. Next, shading with edges. In the previous case, there are no edges will be visible. Just it is a shading like this. Like shading with edges, shading edges with smooth edges, and hidden edges also will be visible. Next, this is a material. Which material you applied, that material will be that color will be imitated here. Next, wireframe model, just all the edges will be in the form of wire. There is no shade here. So these are the options here. And the other thing is hide or show, swap button, visible space. Most of the case we will use the hide or show option. All these things will be available. This is the tool which is one we are going to using most of the cases. Okay. So this is also I'm bringing here because all the things which are necessary I'm putting, you can put your required place. Next, workbench. Now, of course, you can go like this. So I'm not going to detailing all the things here. I'm going to, but most of the important things here. Most important things are we required. First one is tools, sketch tools, and profile, operations, and constraints. Constraints are very important. So you can see that I'm going to clicking here constraints option. See, you can hear this is the constraint option. So this is the option constraints. Constraint define dialog box. Next, this one is a constraint. In this constraint box, we'll have other things. Constraint and contact constraint. So we are having other options also. Next one is automatic constraint. I will show you all the options. Animate constraints and edit multi constraints. So all these options are constraints which is very, very important whenever we are starting in the Sketcher workbench. Definitely we are going to using these things. So this is about constraints. Similarly, operations. So in the case of CATIA, operations means we can say that what is operations means when you draw the sketch, what are the operations we are going to doing generally? We are going to trimming, we are going to offset, we are going to mirroring, like this. These are the options. The same options are there. So we can see these operations. I'm going to untick here. So this is the operation where it was displayed here. You can see here. Once again, I'm going to highlighting this one operations. So see the operations here. Like similar to AutoCAD, we can give the corner. Corner means filleting, what we call. So see the difference here. The words are different. In the annex, we are going to calling this one as a fillet. Now here it is called as a corner. Corner means fillet radius, filleting. Next chamfer. The next one, these are the other additional options here. Uh, trim means that unnecessary portion we can remove, and break we can break the line. That means the line will be there. We can, if you want to see the both lines here, we can break the line. Next, erase, quick trim or erase. But both are different. This trim is different, quick trim is different. And next, closing arc. Closing arc means if some arc is there, if you want to close the arc, then simply we have to this. You can use the option. Next, complementary of the arc. Complementary of the arc means if you draw on the, suppose if there is a circle, let us assume you drawn one side as a semicircle. Now, if you want to get this semicircle on the opposite side, then exactly opposite to this semicircle, that means we can use this complementary of the arc. So next, similarly, operations, other operations here, some of the cases we are suppose in some cases, some cases, suppose let us say some solids are there already you modeled here. If you want to get the projections of these solids on some plane, I want to projections of that solid. I want to use the edge of that solid in somewhere on some plane. Then you can project this solid. These are the projections options. You can project the edge or faces or anything. This is the projections. Next, this is about operations. So this is the operation means once you draw the sketch, we can operate. We can do the operations. So next, other things are here we have completed the constraint operations. Next one is you can go with the profile. So you can see it was there. It was not there. You can click here profile. So I'm dragging this one outside. You can so that you can see the things. This is what we call profile. So here in the CATIA profile means it consists of everything. Like I can create a rectangle. So when you click this rectangle button, we are having other options. You can see rectangle. And now this is also a rectangle, but it is a oriented rectangle. When you know the 3 points in the space, we can create the rectangle shape. Similarly, we can create the parallelogram. We can create this type of shape, elongated hole. Like if you know the two centers and the both sides, we will have the circular holes. And we can create this type of symbol, elongated straight hole. We can say that. Similarly, elongated hole only, but it is a cylindrical one. It's a curved one. It is a straight one. It is a cylindrical one. Now, similarly, if there is a keyhole, if you want to create ready-madely, because we want to make all these things, it will take a lot of time. So these options are available in the CATIA ready-madely. If any symbols are there like this, we can create very easily. Keyhole, like this symbol. Next, hexagon, polygon. Similarly, rectangle only, but it is a centered rectangle. It is a rectangle with starting with corner. This is a rectangle starting with the center. Based on the center, we can create the rectangle. Now the other things are here. Circle. circle with other options also there here. Here the first one is center and radius, and the second one is the 3-point circle. Next, three tangents circle. Next, 3-point arc. Next one is arc means here point. If you know the center and radius, we can create the arc. So of course, some of these options are even not available in the annex also. Some of the options, like this is a spline curve. Spline means if there are any points in the space, if you want to create a smooth curve passing through all these points, that curve is called as a spline. So spline means here if there are any points in the this 2D plane, if you join all these points with a smooth curve, that curve is called as a spline. Next, we are having other curves: ellipse, parabola, hyperbola. And now, when we are even a line means you are having the line, infinite line, bisecting line, bitangent line. If there are two circles, let us say there are two circles. If you want to draw a tangent line, then you can use this line. So of course I can use the constraint option also, because this option is already available. By tangent line means we can create the simply tangent line also. So that is up to you. You must be familiar. This option is available. Next one is bisecting line. Bisect means there are two lines are there. I doesn't know what is the angle between those two lines. I need to bisect that angle. I need to draw a line. In that case, I can create the bisecting line. Next, a line which is normal to the any curve. There is a circular curve is there. I want to draw a line perpendicular to this curve by selecting any point on this curve. We can use this option. So similarly, last one we can create the point at any location you wanted by using the coordinates also. If you know the coordinates, I can create the points. So we can create the equidistance points. So in cases if you need the points also, because also we are also using the points also some cases. So that is the reason we need all these types. So intersection point, suppose say if there is a curve, if there is a straight line, they intersected somewhere else. You need that point. At that point, you need the intersection point. For example, I can go with this one, intersection point. Next one, projection point. We can also project like how to project the solid also. We can project the point also. So this is about profile. Profile means which is actually we required in the Sketcher workbench. This is very, very important. So we can drag here. So I'm putting the constraint and this one somewhere. I will put in order. This is a operation toolbar. This is I can add like this. The left side or right side or bottom side or top or bottom. You can add it anywhere as you like. Uh, this is a selection filter. So main important things are here in the 2D sketches: profile, sketch tool, sketch tools. Sketch tools means this is the sketch tools, the top one. This is what we call sketch tools. So if you want to grid off, we can off the grid here. We want to grid on, we can on the grid here like this. Similarly, I will show you construction line. Suppose if you need a line in the modeling, but that line should not be considered. Like axis is there. So the axis will be there, but we should not consider it in the modeling. That will be considered as a construction line, because all the geometry will not be constructed at a time. So by using the some construction line also, we have to make this geometry. So this is about what exactly we seen here. What are the various options in the software? Just only in the Sketcher workbench. Now we will go with one by one in a very few minutes. So let us go with first of all profile. So you can see here point, axis, line, ellipse, spline, arc, rectangle shape, and what we can say that profile. So when you click profile, so what is this meaning of this profile means? Suppose say, let us assume you can see carefully observe here in the top side. I'm putting this sketch tool here. So we can observe here what happens when I click the command. So when you click this profile button, automatically it will shows the feasible parameters here. So when you click here, it was there first of all. Now there is a line command is highlighted here. That means you are going to drawing a line here. Okay. So I was drawn a line here by simply next. Now the meaning of profile means itself. I can draw the lines, I can draw the arcs, I can draw the lines like in a single stretch. I can draw everything. So I was drawn because the line was highlighted here. Suppose if you want to draw the arc here, let us say if you want to draw the tangent arc here, you can see both different arcs are there. Tangent arc and something is different. 3-point arc is there. If you want to draw the tangent arc, you can click on this arc. When you click this one, that means now we are going to drawing the arc here. See here, that is a very advantage of this one. Now I can draw the shape. I can see when this was there. I can match here. You can see the trace. When it matches here, this point will change the color. When these 2 points are coincident, when they lie on the same line, then it is the color will be changes. Like this, we can identify. See here, now the color is a white color. When you make this point, it changes the exact semicircle because this point is coincident with this line. They are on the same line. So automatically it shows a color so that we can draw very easily. So now click here. Now it was immediately goes to the again line. So it is a continuous command. That is the advantage of this profile command. The beauty of this CATIA. This is the beautiful command in the CATIA. Now you can click the. If you want to draw the circle again, once again you can click here circle. See here, I can draw the circle. If you want to draw the line, I can click the line here. I can draw the line. So we can do as per our design requirement. So line like this, I can make anything. Finally, you can close the line. So once when the starting point and ending point are here matches here, then automatically the profile itself means it is a closed curve. It is not a open curve. Please remember. So it will be automatically so closes the command. So this is the meaning of the profile. So profile means we can draw the lines arcs at a time. Now similarly, so whenever you are created here, the sketch. Now I have created some sketch here. So where if I want to edit this sketch, where I can edit? So here you can observe in the tree. Already I told you in the tree, it will consist of XY plane, YZ plane, ZX plane, and there is a name of part body. Part body means which part we are going to create in that part body. Now we are in the sketch one. In the part we will have several sketches because part means it will have different features. It may have the thickness, it may have a hole like this. It may have different features. That hence we can have the different sketches. So when you click here, sketch one, so it will shows the coordinate system, the geometry. Geometry means how you got this geometry. It will shows you the possibilities, lines, this line, this point, line. All these geometrical properties will be here. Next, it will show the constraints. See, you can observe here. H means here parallel constraint, horizontal constraint. We can see the constraints also. Parallel constraint. Now this is a tangent here. Equal symbol means here tangency constraint. The next another tangency constraint. Here also it is a tangency. Like this, which whatever the conditions you applied, those constraints will be applied here. They can be visualized. You can hear. See, suppose say now I am clicking this line. Now I want to make this line as a constraint. Okay. So now I want to make this line as a constraint. Because if you observe here, the constraint option is not highlighted here. The constraint defined dialog box is not highlighted because you are not selected any object. So now you select a line here. See here automatically it was highlighted. So once again cross check. It was not highlighted here because we are not selected any object to which we want to make the constraint. So now select this line. Select this constraint defined box. So it will shows the possible constraints for this object. Now we are selected this line. It will shows the possible constraints. So we are having various constraints. We can see in this box. Of course, all these are not highlighted because for this case they are not required. So the possible case that if you want to give the constraint, that means by we can fix this line by length, or otherwise simply we can fix. Otherwise we can make it as a horizontal. Otherwise we can make it as a vertical also. So now I am making as a horizontal. So you simply click on this constraint defined box. Click horizontal. See, it was made. It was horizontal. You can see here. So automatically this is what we call constraints. These are very important concept. So these are the constraints. So click OK. Then automatically it will be horizontal. You can also see here the symbol H here. H will be displayed here. So suppose if you want to make this line as vertical, click this line. Again click on the constraint dialog box. Again see the possibility here. Whether you want to make the horizontal or vertical. So it will gives you. If I want to make vertical, click the vertical. See automatically changes to vertical here. Okay. So like this, we need to apply the constraints. Suppose say, for example, see here. Now there is a H symbol here, horizontal constraint. Click on this horizontal. So it was selected, red color symbol, orange color symbol was selected. Now you make simply delete option. So I was selected horizontal constraint, I was deleted here. See, H was not there. You can see here, this is a vertical constraint, it was there, and a horizontal constraint was there. So I was removed for this case. See now what happens this because you are removed the horizontal constraints. If you move this hand, what happens? This line will be not in the horizontal because you removed the horizontal constraint. So once again, if you want to make the horizontal constraint, simply select this line, then select the horizontal constraint. So I was applied only till now horizontal and vertical constraints only. Like this, we can have any constraint also. So let us see the other constraints also. So this is a horizontal and vertical constraint. Now see here. Now I am removing this vertical constraint here. I want to make a different angle. Now if I want to make the angle between these two lines, let us say I want to make these two lines, the angle I want to make as a 45 degrees. Let us say. So it was some angle now. By putting dimension, we can make 45. Okay. Suppose you can change this end like this. Now, because you removed the vertical constraint, this was changes here. Now, let us consider select this line. Now, select this line. You select this line. Then select the constraint dialog box. See, now see the possibilities. You can see what are the possibilities. I can make these two lines perpendicular to each other. Otherwise, I can make these two lines are parallel to each other. Otherwise, I can make these two lines will coincide each other. Otherwise, I can make certain angle between these. You can see the angle. I can putting here fit all so that you can see. See the angle here. Whether you want to angle this one, you can drag this one. You can inside also. You can move. So like this, we can change. Of course, I'm not going to making my too much things here. So angle, we can fix the angle like this. So you can use the angle, already existed angle it will use. If you want to fix the angle also, we can fix. Then click OK. Suppose if you want angle, this angle is 120 degrees or 30 degrees, you can give the 30 like this. So see the angle, this will be 30. Because you are applied the angle constant. It is nothing but of course geometrical constant only. So I'm making Control Z to undo. Then press Control Z. Otherwise redo option will be there here. Redo option. So like this, these are the other options. See other options which are available in the constraint because students please remember whenever we want to draw the sketches, constraints are very important. For everybody constraints we must familiar because that is the reason only I'm explaining in this detail the entire sketch workbench only. So let us see other constraints here. Let us say I am going to drawing here a line was there here. So another line I'm going to drawing here. Somewhere else there. So see, I'm removing this one unnecessary. So there are lines. See the how the constants we can use. In the what way we can use. Say there are 4 lines are there. So you practice this one. I want to apply only constant. I doesn't want to apply any. Of course, I doesn't want to dimensions later. I want to convert these 4 lines as a rectangle. Then how to do the rectangle by combining these lines. So this can be done by only constants. See, first of all, how to apply the constraints. Now I want to, if I want to make the rectangular shape by using these lines, each and every 2 points must be coincide each other. So here, if you say, if you take in here, you take the mouse here, select this point. So you can see, I was selected this point. Then press press Control button, because I want to select the other point also, to which it has to coincide. Select the other point, press Control button, select this end also. That means you are selected at a time 2 points by Control button. Then you can see, click on the constraint define dialog box. Now I want to make these two ends together, they need to coincide. Then we can apply coincide option like this. See how they are happened. They are coincide. This is the symbol. Who is the symbol? Now I am applying this concept for other things also. So again, select this point. Again, press Control button. Select this point, and again do the coincidence option. Then click OK. Again, select this button. Select this one. Again, apply the coincidence option. Click OK. Next, select this one. Select this button. Then click constraint define dialog box and click coincidence. So it was not rectangle without any dot. But what we made, we joined all the lines. Now till the lines are somewhere else. You can cross check. Suppose if you take an this line and as if you move like this, see they are not separated out. They are moving like this. All the lines are moving together. Okay. Now we got like this. But my target is I want to make this this shape as a rectangle. So you know that in the rectangle you will get a horizontal lines and vertical lines. So let us consider, now select this line, select here, constraint dialog box. I want to make it as a horizontal. You make a horizontal line. So it will be like this. Now select this line. Again select the constraint dialog box. Select vertical line. So it is a vertical line. Click OK. Now select this line. Select constraint dialog box. Click horizontal. Click OK. Now select this line. Select the constraint dialog box. Click the vertical line. Click OK. See, you got, we doesn't know what is the size of the rectangle, but we got the rectangular shape from these lines by applying what are the constraints. Now you learned here. We learned the constraints. Uh, we learned the constraints like coincidence, vertical, horizontal. These constraints only. Now we are like this. We are having other constraints also. By practicing only, we will get this concept. See the other constraints. Suppose I am removing this one vertical. Vertical constraints I am removing. How the other constraints we can see. Just familiar with here. Now I was removed the vertical constraints. Now select this line. Click the constraints. Already you know that the constraint is a vertical. This is the vertical constraint. Because you are selected only one line here, it is having only options length or fixed or horizontal or vertical. Already you are familiar with the vertical constraint, but I doesn't want to this vertical constraint. See, now you select this line, Control button, because if you want to select multiple objects, then you have to select the control button. Select this line, select this line, then click on the constraint define dialog box. So now you can see. Now I doesn't want to I doesn't want to use the horizontal and vertical constraint because already was familiar. So now then we are having other options. See, we are having option as angle. If you are having the option as perpendicular, I can use the perpendicular. See, now they are at an angle. If you want to with that angle only, I can click the angle constraint. If you want to angle between these two lines as 90 degrees, then you can click perpendicular. See, I'm going to clicking here perpendicular. See, it was changed here by angle constraint, by perpendicular constraint. So till now we learned coincidence, horizontal, vertical, perpendicular, angular, and parallel constraint. Okay. See the other options which are available. So let us say now you have drawn the circle somewhere else. You have drawn circle here. Simply, if you want to delete here, select this area with the left button. Simply delete, you can delete it. Now you drawn a circle here. I want to explain other constraints. What are the other constraints here? So it is a bigger circle. We drag this one. You can select this one. We can move like this by selecting the center also. We can move. Okay. Now there are these two circles are at somewhere else. Now I want this small circle center exactly coincide with this larger circle center. Either we can make two ways. The first way is I can select this point and I can select this point because these are the two centers I want to coincide. You can select here, we can click on the coincide option. Okay. Because we are selected as a point, hence it was showing only coincidence option only. So let us see the other options. So let us select this circle, select this circle, then click the constraint dialog box. Now I want to make the concentricity. This is the other constraint. New constraint we are going to learning. So what is the meaning of concentricity? Generally, concentricity is nothing but any two circles which will have the same center. You will have the same center. That is what we call concentricity. So click here now. See, automatically these circles will have these circles will have the two centers. You can observe here. So that means now we learn a new constraint, concentricity. Then click OK. Now okay, now I'm going to drawing a line here. Suppose this line was something like this. Assume something like this. Now the line was intersecting the circle. Okay. I want to make this line as a tangent to the circle. So then select this line. Select this line. To which circle you want to make the tangent, you select that circle by control button. Select the two objects. Then select the constraint dialog box. Now I want to make this line as a tangency because that is the reason only it was highlighted the tangency option. The possibilities are available here. Click the tangency option. You can see here. So because what happened here, the larger circle is reduced to smaller circle by making it as a tangent. But what we are expected here, what we are expected actually, the line has to be tangent, the circle radius will be same. Why it was happened means here, because you are not given the radius of the circle. See, once again, I'm going to make in the control jet. We are expecting that this tangent will, this line will be tangent to the circle on the upside. But what happened? The circle is size is reduced and such a way that it made it a tangent to this line. It was happened in this case. So why it was happened means we are not given any dimension here. So see, I am giving the dimension here. So you can click here constraint. Now this is the constraint defined dialog box. This is the constraint. Here constraint is nothing but geometrical dimensional constraints. The upper one is a geometrical constraint. The lower one is a dimensional constraints. So click on this one. Click this circle. Now give the radius here. Now because already we are given some radius. Now see the how the constraint is working here on this circle. Now already we are given the dimension here, larger circle. Select the line. Now I want to make this line with tangent for this circle, larger circle. Select the control button with this larger circle also. Then click the constraint defined dialog box. That is a geometrical constraint. Now you can see the tangency option. Click the tangency option. Carefully observe here what happens. See what happens here. The circle was not reduced, its size was not reduced here. Why? Because already we are given the dimension. That is the reason. In the previous case, because you are not given any dimension, so automatically it was selected. The software it selects such a way that the line will be tangent. So now we land tangent concept. Now let's say it all. Click the pan option. We can select the pan. We can move the screen like this by clicking the pan. By clicking the pan, because already we are drawn there, the space is not sufficient. We can move the screen like this. This option is called as a pan. So now we are familiar with horizontal, vertical, tangency, coincidency, concentricity, constraints. So let us draw another two lines here. I will close it within the 10 minutes because just I was given only some input. Okay. So let us select these two lines here. Again, see the constant defined dialog box. So already we learned length, angle, coincidency, parallelism, perpendicular, horizontal, vertical. So it doesn't require these things. What are the other things here? We are having symmetry. Okay, you will see the symmetry option. Now there are the a reference line or axis, what we call. It is a reference line only. Now select, see carefully. Now I am going to drawing this line somewhere else. If you observe carefully, this line two ends are from the axis, they are certain distance. Similarly, these two line ends are, this other line two ends are, they are different distance. Now I want to make these two lines are symmetric. Okay. Check this one, select this line, select this line. Okay. Of course, select first we select this line, next select this line. Those two objects which are geometry, then select the axis. You will see. I need to cross check this one. Okay, correct. You click on the symmetry. See. So once again, I'm repeating this one. Select the two objects which are to be symmetric. First of all, select this line. Select this line. Now these two objects must be symmetrical about which axis. That axis we have to select later. Last option is we have to select the symmetrical axis. So this is a symmetrical axis. Put the control button. Press this one also. Last one. So then click the geometrical define box. Click the symmetry. So you can see these are symmetry. That means these two ends are same distance. Of course, they may not be same length because they are not. We are not done any mirror. They are symmetry. That means if you take in any point on this line, if you take in any point on this line, is same distance. Opposite also the same point will be the same distance. That is what is the meaning of symmetry. Okay, next one. So what is other things we left here in the constraints? We'll check. Almost I think all I already covered. So length, angle, radius, or diameter, coincidence, concentricity, tangency, parallelism, perpendicular, horizontal, vertical, and equidistance point, midpoint. Okay, midpoint. We'll see the midpoint. We'll see the midpoint. Relating symmetry constraint. So you select this line like this, somewhere else. Select this line. Now select this point and select this line. I was selected a point and a line. Constraint defined dialog box. Now you are having option midpoint. What is the meaning of this one? Means this point, this line end point has to match with this line midpoint. Because I doesn't know the length of this line, I can do the constraint. Selecting this point and this line, then click the midpoint button, midpoint option. You can do also like this. Okay. So this is the what we call midpoint option. And similarly, if you see other options, some of the cases we are using. Then R movie at all. So now, till now we learned, I think all the things. Midpoint option. Okay. Okay. Sometimes see if you want to, you are drawn the sketch somewhere else. I want to exactly match this point, this end of the line. I need to match with this x-axis. Let us say you want to like if you want to do like this, then you select this line and select this axis, horizontal axis. Then click constraint. I want to coincidence. Okay, click on the coincidence option. It will match us to the on the axis point like this. This is a coincidence option. So now till now we learned only constraint options, which is very, very important. So once you are familiar with the constraints, the next one is we can give the dimensions. See, for example, say, let us draw the rectangle here. So if you want to give the dimensions here, see now before going to the dimensions, now all are in white color. Okay, give the dimensions here. You can edit by double clicking. So that is a common thing. I am not explaining all the things here. Okay, give the dimensions here. This is a dimensional constraint, what we call. The bottom one is called as a dimensional constraint. It was simply constraint, whereas the upper one is the constraint dialog, defined dialog box. Now, see the other options. So constraint defined dialog box, constraint option. Next, see the other option. It is the auto constraint. Of course, I will tell you later this one, because which is not important for us. So see the other beautiful option in the CATIA is you can see the animate constraint. Of course, I will explain later. Now, this a beautiful option is this one. Edit multiple constraint. So edit multiple constraints means already we are given the dimension for rectangle, for length and width, and for circle we are given the dimension. Here you can see we are given the dimensions for the circle. So if you want to edit these dimensions, what we are going to doing naturally, we are going to editing by double clicking. By double clicking, we are going to changing every dimension. Suppose let us say assume there are 100 dimensions. There is a big profile. If you want to do in that case, it is not possible. It takes a lot of time. So in that case, I can do all the dimensions at a time. So click here, edit multi-constraint, edit multi-constraints. So automatically it will show you, it will displace you the respective object and their dimension. See, you can click here length 30. Length 30 means this is the highlighted one. Then click length 29. This is the length 29. Then click radius. This is the diameter. I mean, it will show us as the radius. Okay, now I'm changing here. You can click here, length 30. So I'm changing here this value as 100, for example. You can enter the value here. You can enter the value as 100 here. Next, click this next parameter on length 29. Again, if you want to change this length as 50, you can give the 50. Or if you want to change it as a 200, you can give the 200. Now click on the other dimension. Click the radius here. Click the radius as because it was asking as radius as the other simple thing is now because we doesn't know maybe diameter is 260. When the diameter is given, if you want to give the radius, we can make the diameter by 260 by 2 also it will takes the value. So you can see here. So automatically it calculates 260 by 2. So this is also like similar to NX only. It will give takes the operations, multiplications, subtractions like this. Will takes the value or operations. So radius was given. So see now I was changed all the things at a time. I was changed it as per my wish by simply selecting the parameter, giving the dimension. So this is the edit multiple constraint option. Then click OK. Then automatically it will be changes. So this is the beauty of the this edit multiple constraint. Suppose if you want to draw a very complicated any shape in the sketcher workbench, once you simply draw the sketch, first complete the constraints. First, you complete the constraints properly, like horizontal, vertical constraint, tangency, those constraints. What I mean that geometrical constraints. You perfectly complete the geometrical constraints. Now give the dimensions randomly. You give the dimensions, required dimensions. It will give some value, but it doesn't require that value. First, you give the value, then click on the edit multiple constraint. So it will display all the parameters. Select the parameter on your sketch and change the value as per your given problem. Simply then click OK. So this is the way what we call animated sketch. So like this, you remember these are the like this we need to draw the sketches here. So once you completed the sketch here, now let us assume your work was completed in the 2D sketcher workbench. So we are in the sketcher workbench. That means we are completing the sketcher part. So if you want to exit from the sketcher workbench, you simply click on this exit workbench because you completed the 2D. Click the this one. So now we are outside of the sketcher workbench. Just simply outside. Now you are having these shapes on which plane, some plane where we selected, whether you selected somewhere. Suppose you want to see the isometric view here. Suppose I was down here, put here this one. So click here in the view. In the bottom we are having view. Click the isometric view. You can see the isometric view also. Now they are on the XY line, XY plane. You can see here XY plane. See the X-axis here, compass also. So now the modeling is simple. You know that modeling. So click the pad option, add in the material, click the pad option. Select the sketch here. I need to select the sketch here, profile or surface. Select the sketch. See here carefully. When I am selecting the sketch, it was selecting entire sketches. But I want to select only this rectangle. Why it was selecting means it was in the sketch one. So you are created this entire thing in the sketch one. Hence it is going to treating it is as an entire sketch. But if you want to select only rectangle means you can simply right click here, go to profile, go to profile definition, go to profile definition. You can see here whole geometry or sub geometry. Then click here add button. You can click here by selecting this one. By selecting this one only, you can see here the sketch was added. So okay, I'm removing this one. Suppose if you want to add only this circle, you can select this circle. You can add like this. Suppose you want to add rectangle also, you want to select the rectangle sketch also, you can select the rectangle also. So if you doesn't want a rectangle, you can select once again shift and this one, control and this one. Control button you can press here. You can select also control and this one. Like this, I can select which sketch you want selected. So I want to remove this one. So like I'm going to selecting here. You have to, but remember here, I'm going to show you here by how to go to this option. Right click this button. I doesn't want entire sketch, only I want a certain part only. Then right click here, go to profile definition. It is a beautiful option. Then whenever it was going to displaying, whether you want to select the whole assembly, otherwise you want to select the sub element. You have to select this one. That is very important thing here. I want to select only sub elements. So that is the reason I am selecting here rectangle. Then click add here. Of course, already it was added. Whenever you are going to select it, automatically it will be added. We want to add more sketches like this. I can more other geometries also I can add. Then click OK. Now only you can see the rectangle shape. Now give the dimension. How to add the material? How much amount? Suppose if you want to add 100 amount, you can click here. You can see the visualize. You can visualize here the value, how it was there. Then click OK. So we are extruded the pad material. You can see this is the pad. So now we can change the other things here. You can click on now it was in the sharing with edges. We can click on the shading only. Now see there are no edges here. So these are the other options you can use. You can use here. See the only smooth edges, shading with material or hidden edges. You can observe hidden edges. In the previous case, it was not there. If you want to see the hidden edges also, you can select this one. Similarly, if you want to select the wireframe, you can see the wireframe. This is the wireframe. So these are the view options. View options. Whatever you like. These are the view options only. Now only you are using in the part modeling pad. Like this, we are having other options, multi-pad. If you want to make any hole or pocket, again, pocket is also having direct pocket and multi-pockets. And if you want to create the cylindrical parts, what we call shaft here. And whereas in the next, we can say that it will be called as, I think so, revolve. Now it will be shaft. Cylindrical parts can be generated. Now groove and hole, standard holes, if you want to create, we can create. So these are the modeling options which are available in the part design. So see, I'm going to minimizing all the things. Whatever may be modeled here, they will be there in the this tree. See here. Now if you take in the pad, for pad, sketch is a parent. Okay. If you want to make the pad, 3D model, sketch is a parent. The pad is a child here. Like this tray will shows that like a parent-child relation. First parent, later child. Okay, for pad is a child here, sketch is a parent here. Without sketch, I can't create the pad. That is the reason parent-child relation. Like this, we can see all the details. We can zoom this also by control and middle scroller. Control and middle scroller. I can zoom. I can so that I can visualize it clearly. You can click here in the sketch here, all the sketching options which are available. Suppose if you want to edit the pad, you can click simply pad. Again, you can change the dimension. You can change the dimension. Click OK. I was here in the first limit. See, carefully observe. I am not observe. I am doing. I am not. I was not giving all the things. I was in the first limit only. If you want to go other things here, click on more. More means the second limit. Again, we are having the other options. In the, only now we are in the dimension type. Up to next, up to last. If there is any plane up to that plane also I can extrude. If there is any surface up to surface, that surface also I can extrude. So just I was only using the units. Now you can see here other limits I am going here. Other limits will be, let us say, 100. So on the both sides, you can see in the picture on the both sides. This is a different direction. This is a different direction. You can see this is a 300. See how it was going. That is 300. So it is a 400 upside. Like this, we can use the two limits here. Like in one direction it is a positive, other direction it is a negative. Like this, we can select the two. You can click OK. So these are the other options. Like you have to practice. What are the options available in the same command? There are multiple options are available in the same command. So if you observe carefully, I was selected only here in the entire sketch. I was selected only rectangle only. If you select the sketch here, automatically it will select the entire thing. So we need to go. We need to go with the profile definition, and we have to select the sub-elements. So okay, students. Today what we learned exactly how to work with some of the concept of sketcher bench and constraints, more on the constraints and dimensioning and other options in the constraints. Now little bit exit from the workbench and now to how to create the simple 3D model by clicking the pad options. What are the other options we there in the modeling concept? So we'll if there is a time for me, we'll plan for other class in the college itself, where we can do the more practice on the sketcher. Later we will practice on the modeling. Meanwhile, you try to practice. Okay, thank you, students. This is the end of the meeting. I think record is it was not happening. Okay, stop recording.